Good evening and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hardboiled English Live. I am teacher Paul Duke, your host, language coach, instructor, tutor, and detective. This is Hardboiled English Live. We are streaming to you from Vancouver, Canada, to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Africa TV, FC2, Dailymotion. Just about anywhere that hosts live streaming video, we'll be there. The format of this show is simple. You ask me questions about English, and I'll do my best to answer them and help you solve your English mysteries. Okay? So we have a few segments to start tonight, and then we have lots of time for your questions and a couple of questions left over from last week. For those of you who don't know me, allow me to introduce myself a little more. I am the creator and host of the YouTube channel, Hardboiled English. On that channel, you can see my various video series, including my main one, English Weirdness. English Weirdness is a series I've made with my English students, and it's a long-form exploration of some of the strange side of the English language. Grammar irregularities, contradictions, rules and exceptions to rules, you know. And we have animation in there, dramatization to give you a context. Really proud of the work all my students have done on this series. You can also see a bunch of other series on that, and the recordings of this live show, which I post on the Saturday following every live event. So if you miss a little bit tonight, don't worry, this will be posted tomorrow. In addition, I also host a weekly conversation cafe. Now this is on Zoom. It's a free event, and it's not really an English lesson. What this is a chance to meet some international friends and practice speaking to each other in English. I'm there to support and facilitate. It's a safe space. Everyone's friendly and respectful, and we have a good time. And hopefully you guys make some new friends from around the world. I've also recently begun co-hosting a podcast. It's called the Ego Education Podcast. And I do this with two colleagues of mine, John McGraw and Anish Daya, who you may have seen on this show several times, co-hosting and guest hosting. And we have a new episode coming out on Tuesday morning featuring this guest. Her name is Riku Miyazaki, and she's a popular Instagrammer, and she uses Instagram to share English tips predominantly to Japanese learners. The podcast, let me see if I can do this, I'm all backwards. The podcast has a Japanese learner theme. Myself, John, and Anish all share a connection with the Japanese learners in that country. So we made a podcast focused on issues and challenges and needs of the Japanese learner. Okay, so check that out. And if somebody needs private help, intensive help with your English, if you really want to develop something or maybe get ready for an exam, or you need help with your academic work, I am available for private one-on-one lessons. So check out my website, teacherpaul.ca, and you'll find all the details there. Okay, and then get in touch. You can always find me on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram at Hardboiled English. So get in touch, connect, and we'll talk about whatever your needs are. Okay. Now, guys, I have an announcement to make. Next Friday is our Christmas special show. So every year we've been around for 1 year, but last year we had a 2-hour special Christmas event featuring several special guests and some time for breakdowns on the board, question answering. This Friday, we will have, 1 week from today, we will have another special Christmas event. We may even have some presents, okay? I'm still confirming with some of my guests, but it should be a great show. So please join us for that and wish us Happy Christmas. Following which, the show will be off air for 2 weeks. Okay, I'm visiting some family and doing a little traveling for the first time in 2 years. So the show will be gone for 2 weeks. We will return in the first week of January, back in business, okay? Let's get to the hellos. If you're joining us now, guys, please go to the chat box, say hello, and tell us where you're watching from. To start with, I'll say hello to Chris from Belgium. We have Wako in Japan. We have Furkan from Bangladesh. Welcome to the show, Furkan. We have Susanna from Argentina. Carmen from Peru is here. Hi, Carmen. We have Vedanshi. I hope you guys, I'm pronouncing your names at least close. I do try. We have Vedanshi, saying hello. What country are you watching from, Vedanshi? We have a Facebook user from Panama. One thing you'll notice, guys, is if you watch the show inside a Facebook group, what happens is I can't see your name. Okay, so I can see your comment, but I don't know who you are. It just says Facebook user. That's because you're in a group. You can go to my Facebook profile, Paul Duke, or find Teacher Paul at Hardboiled English on my Facebook profile and my Facebook page. You can see the video, and if you make a comment, I can see your name. Oh, Vedanshi's in India. Okay, great. Greetings to India. We also have Rie Suzuki from Toyohashi City in Japan, and we have my friend Wilson Merchant from Ecuador. So thanks for joining us. Facebook user says, I'm Brian. And where are you watching from, Brian? Are you Brian from Venezuela in Panama? Vedanshi's in India. Yeah, got that. How about Brian on Facebook user? Where are you watching from, Brian? Are you the Brian I think I know? I'm not sure. Well, in any case, great to have you with us, as always, guys. It's great to have all of you here. If you're joining, guys, please say hello in the comment box. Tell us where you're from, as it says right here. We're going to get to some questions shortly, so start thinking about what you want to talk about. We'll start with our vocabulary segment, and then we'll move into some questions. Okay? Yeah, what's your English mystery? Let me be your detective for the night. What's your English mystery? I'm here to answer your questions. What are the things about English that drive you crazy, you don't understand? Okay, Brian Milan. Great. Nice to see you, Brian. Thanks for joining the show. I hope you're doing well. I hope life in Panama is going well. How can I forget you? Of course, we had great times together. Brian's a former student of mine, and now he's living in Panama. Hope you're doing well. I love watching your posts about your motorcycling. That's really cool. Maybe, Brian, you can join the show one time as a guest. Would you like to do that? I want to say hello to Martin, watching from Malawi in Africa. So guys, this is my favorite part of the show, is seeing all the different countries you guys are watching from. That's really cool for me. The idea that when the show started, you know, the pandemic had hit us a year ago, and I knew that everyone was kind of alone in their country, that we couldn't travel, everyone's kind of isolated. So one of the reasons I created the show was to, you know, bring everyone together like a classroom, so that we weren't feeling so alone. You know, a teacher without students is kind of useless, so I felt useless and alone, and maybe some students in the world felt the same way. That's why I started this. Okay? Well, guys, let's go to our first segment tonight, which is a vocabulary segment. I like to introduce one new word every week, because I find that working with a lot of students, they tend to overuse certain adjectives like the word good. So instead of using good to positively describe something, I like to introduce a new positive adjective you can use every week. So let's get to this week's word. This week's word is miraculous. Miraculous. Oh my gosh, we have a piece of paper on the board. Let's get rid of that. Okay, miraculous. I got the evil eye from the engineer tonight, so I guess that means there's a problem with my set. Okay, miraculous. What does it mean? Well, like a miracle. Okay, miracle is the noun version. Completely unexpected and very lucky. So what's a miracle? Does anyone know what a miracle is? Can you explain it in the comment box? A miracle. Tell me what a miracle is. Who can tell me what a miracle is? Because that's an important part of this meaning. Does anyone know what a miracle is? It's okay if you don't, but if someone knows and wants to share, that's great. What is a miracle? Who knows what a miracle is? Anyone? Write it in the comment thread. I have a feeling some of you know what a miracle is. Miracle. Because if we don't know what a miracle is, we might have trouble with the adjective miraculous. 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 Okay, Carmen says, something positive, not expected to happen. That's in the right direction, Carmen. Thank you. Not bad. There's a little piece missing. Especially at this time of year, guys. Especially if you're in South America. Okay, Susanna says, miracle is something happens with no explanation. Yeah, this is more like what we're talking about. A miracle goes against nature. It goes against the laws of physics, like gravity and life and death. So the Christmas season, right? The Christmas season is built around the birth of Jesus Christ in the Bible, and that's a miraculous birth, right? If you know the story, it's kind of magical. Okay, Vedanshi says magical, uncanny. Exactly. That's an important part of the meaning. It's unexpected, yes, but it's unexpected because it's kind of magic, right? It kind of doesn't follow the laws of nature that we have to follow, right? People dying and coming back to life. Well, that doesn't usually happen. Or somebody appearing out of nowhere, right? Religions are built on miracle stories. So we could say, in the spirit of Christmas, we can say the birth of Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not religious, so I hope I'm out of step here. But of course, this is a well-known story. The birth of Jesus Christ was miraculous. Okay? So that's really where the word comes from, is this idea of religious miracles, magic, stuff that only a God can make happen. But in everyday life, especially in a culture or society that's not religious, like mine in Canada, I mean, you can be religious if you want, but most people aren't. We use this to describe something that was really unexpected because it doesn't usually happen. So for example, if you're a sports fan and one of your favorite players gets injured, like breaks a leg or tears a knee or something horrible, you expect them to not play that year. You expect them to have big surgery and a long physiotherapy rehabilitation. Sometimes players come back and start playing after a month or a week, and everyone describes that recovery as miraculous. So we could say he made a miraculous recovery. Recover from the injury. So nobody expected that to happen. It's really unusual, and even surprised the doctors, because the doctors in medicine follows the laws of nature and biology. So we can use it like that. Okay? Okay, guys, so, we want to say hello to Hector. Hector's with us. What country are you watching from, Hector? Did I miss that? Welcome to the show. Okay, guys, now it's your turn. I want you to make me a sentence using the word miraculous, okay? Use the word in a sentence like I have. The birth of Jesus was miraculous, or he made a miraculous recovery. Speaking about an athlete. What else can we describe as miraculous? Let's see your examples, okay? Anyone have one? Hector. Hector's from Peru. Welcome. Okay, great. We have a couple of people watching from Peru. It's great to have you with us. Okay, let's see your examples, guys. Try using this word in a sentence. Write it in the comment thread. That there are no teachers absent at my school due to COVID next week will be miraculous. Yeah, we kind of expect that there will be teachers or, students that get COVID. If there isn't, it will be miraculous, right? Okay, great example, Chris. Thank you. Let's see your sentences, guys. Who's got an example? Yeah, here, guys, you'll find my email address. And during the week, if you have a question that you want me to talk about on the show, you can send it. Because sometimes you can't watch the show live, but I'll take care of your question on the show, and then you can watch it in a recording. So that's one way to connect with me. Anyone else have an example? Don't be shy, guys. We're all friends here. We're all here to learn. One way to learn that I think is really important, guys, is to try something. So one of the first things I always do with my students is ask them to write me something. Because if I don't have an example, I can't give you feedback and tell you what needs to be fixed and what's really done well. And feedback is crucial for learning anything. You've got to try it. So give me some sentences, guys. Okay, we have one from Susanna. This is good. The vaccine was miraculous fast. Yeah, they made the vaccine very quickly. It's not really a miracle because it's not magic, it's science. And we know how to make vaccines. For many years, they've been developing the technique. But it felt miraculous. It saved a lot of people. Now, the way you've used it in a sentence is pretty good, but you say miraculous fast. And fast is another adjective or adverb. What you need here is to get rid of the word fast. The vaccine was miraculous. Okay? Now, if you mean that the vaccine appeared, was made and ready very, very quickly, I would use the adverb form of the word. Miraculously fast. The vaccine was miraculously fast. Or the vaccine was developed miraculously fast. Because when you use an adverb like miraculously in front of another adjective, you make the adjective more intense. It was fast, not just normal fast, miraculously fast. Okay? Wilson's got a good example. Falling from a high building and not dying is miraculous. Well, absolutely. That's a great sentence, great example, Wilson. If you fall from a high building due to the laws of physics like gravity and the structure of a human body, kind of expect someone not to survive that. We expect that they're going to be in really bad shape and probably die. So if you don't, it's kind of a miracle, right? Wilson, I hope this has never happened to you. I hope this is just an example. But great example, good sentence, thank you. Someone else have? Okay, yeah, Martin's got a good example. Martin from Malawi says, our team beats visiting team miraculously. Good. So here the adverb form, miraculously, is describing the verb beats. How do they beat them? In what way? Well, in a miraculously way. And that often happens in sports. You have one team, everyone expects them to win because they have all the good players, they have a big budget, great stadium, they're always champion, and then this team is always a losing team, and then they beat the big team. So this word is often used in sports. Okay, Furkan has an example. Great example here. Her recovery from cancer is miraculous. Yes. Right? Now we say that kind of thing, miraculous, about recovering from cancer. But the truth is, if one recovers from cancer, it's probably because of great medicine, great scientific help. But it feels like a miracle because cancer is so strong and so deadly. So that's a great example. We often use that expression. Okay. We have another one from Chris. I found miraculously moleke. Moleke? How do we say that, Chris? I'll have to catch up with you next week and find out how to pronounce that. Best cat ever in our garden. Okay, good. Now, miraculously here is the adverb form, and we should put that in front of the verb found. So, I miraculously found. I miraculously found moleke. Because where it is now, you have the adverb in front of the noun moleke, the name. So it seems like it should be the adjective to describe the cat. Miraculous cat, miraculous moleke. But if you're going to use the adverb form, let's put that in front of the verb. Okay? I miraculously found. Excellent examples, guys. Excellent examples. We've got enough time for just a couple more. So does anyone have another example sentence? All very well done, guys. Very impressive. Good work, good work. Miraculous. Miraculous recovery. Miraculous victory in the game. Okay, Wako has an example. Seeing Sanra. Or maybe Wako means Santa. Santa Claus? Seeing Santa flying a sky was miraculous. Yeah, if you see Santa in the sky, wow, that is kind of miraculous. Yeah, Santa Claus, right? It's Christmas time, so especially the children are imagining Santa is flying around in his sleigh. But, you know, us adults know that sleighs kind of don't fly, and that humans can't really fly without airplanes and these kind of things. So if we adults saw Santa really flying, I'd say that's pretty miraculous. Or maybe Santa has great scientists who made him a flying jetpack to fly with. It's possible. A lot of things are possible. It's funny, you know, guys, things that we think are normal, if we introduce them to earlier human civilizations, for example, if we took cell phones and showed them to humans of 100 years ago, they'd think we were crazy. They'd think the cell phone was a miracle, right? They'd think live show is a miracle. Just 100 years ago, there was no TV or movies, right? 300 years ago, if we showed them our live show, they'd think it was a miracle, magic. Never mind cell phones. Actually, when I was a kid, there were no cell phones. We thought it would be so cool if you could communicate. We had toy walkie-talkies like soldiers. We thought that was cool. We imagined something like this, right? But for us, it was just magic. Okay. Is anyone new joining we should say hello to? Do we miss anyone? Okay, we have a nice example here from Ria Suzuki. Ria says, my father told me that I've seen a phoenix when I was a child. I think that he had a miraculous imagination. Yeah, maybe this magic bird appeared to your father, right? A kind of mythological phoenix.